Hi, folks. This is your instructor, Mr. Jabbar Thomas, for Dmpt 2525, Writing for Television. And this is a specific welcome video concerning this particular class. I made a general welcome video for all of the classes that I'm teaching this semester that gives you kind of like general information that everybody in my classes in DMPT need to be aware of. This video is going to more specifically address your class. So let me start off by, let's take a look at the syllabus. Let's take a look at the syllabus for the course, DMPT 2525. And it's coming up right here. Here it is right here. Here is the syllabus right here for the course. Writing for broadcast. I'm sorry, I think I may have said writing for television. The name of the course is writing for broadcast. And essentially, we're going to, well, the official course description is we're going to study writing formats for news, promotion, press releases, commercial, television, and radio productions and dramatic screenplays. Emphasis will be placed on correct writing styles and conceptualizations for each application. Each student will adapt an existing work or create an original script for the screen. Okay. It is the last sentence there that is really getting to the meat of what we're going to be doing this semester. You're going to adapt an existing work, or well, actually, you're not going to adapt an existing work. You're going to create an original short script for the screen. The whole goal of this class is to teach you the art and craft of screenwriting so that you will be able to, it's a workbook approach. So you will have at the end of this 16-week semester, you will have a short screenplay. Okay. It'll be a short script. It'll be in the correct format. And basically, as the weeks go by, you'll have assignments to turn in. For example, your pre-writing, which includes bios on your characters, your treatment, your log line. You'll have another project that will be your rough draft of your script, and of course, a final project is your finished draft. Now, there are lots of sub steps, intermediate steps in between each one of these projects, and that's the point of this semester, is to kind of walk you through the process of writing. I have to say, I'm very excited about this course. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to teach this course at this class in this form. I've taught narrative filmmaking, which pretty much broke down to being a screenwriting course. However, it wasn't the actual screenwriting course. So I'm really excited to be able to spend a lot of time and effort into teaching this course. The only requirement that we have is DMPT 1000 for the course. As you can see, that's my name and email address right here. As you know, we're going to be online for the entire semester, all 17 weeks, 16 weeks, but it's 17 considering the fact that we have to make up for the Thanksgiving break and the one day that you get off for Labor Day. But we'll never meet on campus. We'll always be online. I would like to, one thing that's peculiar about screenwriting is you benefit a lot from by having direct contact with the instructor as well as direct contact with your classmates, because we will do something called workshop your screenplays, workshop your scripts. So that basically means you'll write a script or write a portion of a script and you will distribute it to everybody in the course, and we'll all read it and we will give you input. We'll give you constructive criticism, what went right, what didn't work, and how it could be fixed. Okay, that's how you learn as a writer beyond just learning the correct format and reading the textbooks and things like that. As far as the less tangible aspects of growth as an artist, a lot of it you'll gain from constructive criticism from your fellow screenwriters. Okay, we'll talk more about that a little later on because that is a very sensitive topic, and it's a very important topic. We'll talk about that later. The textbook is one of my favorite current textbooks, the textbook that you have to buy for the course. Now, you know me, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to be coming at you from a lot of different sources, okay? At least 3 different, maybe 4 different screenwriting textbooks. I'll have PowerPoints, I'll have articles online I'll throw at you, things like that. All of that, you need to absorb that. This is going to be a very fast-paced, very involved semester for this class, for this course. Screenwriting, like I said, is one of my favorite topics. It's where the entire process of filmmaking begins. Okay. Um, I'll talk a little bit more about that little later on. But the textbook that you have to buy for the course is Save the Cat, the last book on screenwriting you'll ever need by Blake Snyder. There's only one edition out that came out in May of 2005. It's one of my current favorites. Here it is on Amazon.com. They should have this in the bookstore, the campus bookstore. Okay. They have a Kindle version, they have a paperback version. Okay. They have an audiobook version of it. I do not recommend the audiobook version because there are certain things that you're going to have to basically be able to see to work on. Like, for example, when you work through your, I think it's 15 beats, your 15 beats, and we'll discuss what beats are a little bit later on, the 15 beats in your short script. Um, we're gonna talk about that a little later on, but that's something that you want to be able to look at as you learn it visually, as opposed to just kind of hear about it. Okay, it definitely very much helps you if you learn it visibly. If you see it visibly, I'll give you a blow up of the textbook. Here's the textbook right here. Okay, please, please, please. You know, Mr. Thomas, please make sure that you purchase the book. There's no way around this, folks, especially in this case, because all of my assignments will come directly out of this book. It is absolutely critical that you buy this book. Being that, you know me, I try to make it easy for you. So I chose my favorite book. It's a very entertaining read. It's a very short book, um, but it's also inexpensive. If you look, the Kindle version is $12.02 if you want to buy the Kindle version that you can download to your iPhone or your tablet, your your Apple tablet, your Apple-based tablet, or if you want to download it to your laptop, Mac or PC, or your desktop, Mac or PC. Pretty much, if you have any kind of smart technology where you can download apps, you can purchase the book and download the book to your device and read it. That's the way I like to go because I buy so many books that having to carry them all around is difficult, and of course books degrade over time with use, and so I like to have the digital version. There are lots of advantages to that. If you know me, you've seen me use digital books quite a bit, so I want to highly recommend the digital book here. Also, you have the paperback if you want to do that. Another advantage of the Kindle book is you don't have to wait for it to ship to you, okay? Because as you know, shipping takes time. And right now, what's going on in the world right now, the post office in particular is extraordinarily slow. But all shippers have slowed down because of the volume during the coronavirus crisis. So much stuff is making its way through the mail that UPS, FedEx, United United States Postal Service, everybody's slow. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where we've hit the ground running like we will on day one, like we are going to. We're reading the book and we're starting to do assignments, and you're still waiting for your book to come in because Mr. Thomas doesn't slow down for anybody. So please make sure that whatever plan you have, it works with our schedule. The best plan that I'd recommend is the Kindle version because of the fact that you don't have to wait for it. It's less expensive. So that's definitely something that I would recommend for you. Let's go back to that syllabus, folks. As you know, I'm not going to go through this word for word, this syllabus word for word, but you do want to go over this in your own time and make sure that you can refer to this at a moment's notice, just in case you have anything that you want to find out more about. Of course, we have our student outcomes, our competencies as well listed. Okay, all right, work ethics and course policies and communication. As you know, we are not going to be, once again, online. We're not going to be on campus. This class is entirely online for the fall semester because of the coronavirus crisis. If you need to contact me, you can reach me via email at thomasj@gptc.edu. However, I also want to let you know, like I said before, one of the things I'm going to ask you for at the very beginning is to see if there is a time where all the members of the class, or at least most of the members of the class, can be available to participate in a Blackboard Collaborate session so we can talk about a lot of these concepts that we will be working on in the textbook and in the course. You'll find out that having face-to-face, even if it's over a computer monitor, exposure to your teacher in your classmates is going to be very valuable. We'll kind of be like a close knit writers club, writer society. And that's really the best and only way to really get this done. We do have a mandatory proctored event. Our proctored event will take place on Friday, December the 4th, 2020 at 3 p.m. on Blackboard. Collaborate. Most of you have probably done a proctored event with me before, so you know how that works. Please make sure you are there, so that you don't miss out on that. That's worth at least 10% of great changes to that. I will let you know. Changes to the proctored event, I'll let you know. Okay. We also have a no-show assignment and work ethics quiz. You guys know the routine. Those are absolutely mandatory to take care of your work ethics assignment and no-show assignment. Your work ethics quiz, sorry, and your no-show assignment. I said this in the general welcome video, but I'll repeat it now. This must be done by 11 a.m. on the 29th of August, 2020 on Blackboard. Please make sure you complete it, because if you do not complete your no-show assignment and work ethics quiz for every single class, okay, you will be dropped from the course by the registrar. And if you're getting money from a lender or getting money from a grantor, they'll send the money back. And as far as the school is concerned, you're not in the class, you won't get a grade for it. So please make sure that you do take the no-show assignment and work ethics quiz on or before, let's say before August the 29th, 11 a.m. It doesn't count towards your grade. So, it's just to prove that you actually were involved in the course. As you can see here, here's our course grading section. It also kind of tells you the types of assignments we're going to have. We're going to have quizzes. As you know, we're going to have our weekly quizzes. Mr. Thomas, I like doing those weekly quizzes to make sure you keep up with your reading. And yes, you absolutely must keep up with your reading, because we're moving at a really fast pace. Your first project will be your log line. We'll talk about what that is later. Project 2 is pre-writing, which is actually a few different elements. Project 3 is your 12 beats. I said 15 beats before. I meant 12 beats. Project 4 is your first draft, and Project 5 is your final draft. So you have 5 projects this semester, all worth 10% each. Okay, and these 5 projects are basically you building that short script. As far as the length of that short script, you'll see a project assignment sheet that's going to give you more details on that. But your short script should be no more than 14 pages long. When I say short, I mean short. And you'll find out that writing a short script and hitting all the beats, getting all 3 of your acts in, doing all the character development that you have to do in 14 pages is difficult. You say, well, can we have 20 pages? Can we have 25 pages? Absolutely not. It's not how it works in the real world. If they say 14 pages, they mean 14 pages or less. Okay. You have a written midterm exam on Blackboard based on the reading and PowerPoints and everything we discuss in course. I mentioned the proctored event, that's worth 10%. You have a written final exam that's due on December the 5th, 2020 by 11:59 p.m. and you get a 10% professionalism grade. Okay. So here's your course calendar. All right, here we are right now in week 1. That's August the 16th through August the 22nd. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to read a syllabus, which is what we're reviewing right now. You're going to read what is a screenplay. I have a reading, an article for you to read that talks about, basically starts you off on ground level. What's a screenplay anyway? And there's also going to be a video that I'm making that's going to be posted rather on Blackboard, talking about screenplay structure, the paradigm. The reason why I'm talking about what is a screenplay and a screenplay structure and a paradigm apart from the textbook is because of the fact that the textbook doesn't really start on the ground level as far as, okay, what's a screenplay? What's the format for a screenplay? What's the structure for a screenplay? They don't really talk so much about that. They really talk more about developing your concept and certain things that should happen over the course of your screenplay, right? Well, you'll understand what I'm talking about a little later on. But there's another book that if you're interested in getting all of those elements, as far as this, the ground level screenplay, and you want to see it in writing, this is another excellent book that I'm going to come a lot at you at this book as well. A book by Sid Field, the late great Sid Field, called Screenplay: The Foundations of Screenwriting. and it talks a lot about that, a step by step from concept to finished script. Okay, you will see that a lot of these, a lot of the most of the context of most of the material I'm going to give you, be it from the context of a feature length script. A feature length script is a script for a feature film, the kind of film you go to a movie theater to see. That would roughly be an 80-minute to 120-minute film. That means an hour and 20-minute to 2-hour film. Some films are slightly shorter, though not many. Many films are longer. But the rule of thumb in the industry is to shoot for about 120 minutes, that's 2 hours, or 110 minutes, that's an hour and 50 minutes. Okay, you'll see that Sid Field, he's kind of a 120 page, 120 minute kind of guy, because it's for every 1 page of screenplay, it's the equivalent of roughly 1 minute of screen time in the finished film. However, um, however, Blake Snyder, the author of Save the Cat, he's more of a 110 page, which is a little more modern, to be honest with you. So it's not really that much of a difference, but I tend to go with the 110 page nowadays when I do features. One thing that you're going to find out though is that whether you're writing a 2-hour film, writing a 2-hour script, a 120 page script, or a 14-page script, you're hitting all the same beats. You're doing all the same things. Okay, you are not doing anything different in your short film, that you're not doing anything different in short film than what you're doing in your feature film. Okay, the only difference is we're covering all the same ground narratively. When I use the word narrative, I'm talking about narrative is another word for story. They're doing the same thing narratively, but in a shorter span of time. But you have to cover all the same beats. You have to accomplish all of the same tasks, but in a shorter amount of time. So as you can see, having a well-written, well-told story with brevity is much harder rather than telling it over 120 pages or 110 pages. The only reason we're not doing a feature film is because not writing a feature film in this course is because of the fact that, generally speaking, it would take a lot longer than 16 weeks to take you from pre-writing your main idea, your original idea, log line, treatment, all the way to even the end of your first draft of your feature script. That would take longer than 16 weeks. Okay, so we want to, over the course of this semester, we want to have you work on something that you can finish within these 16 weeks. So that's why we're going to show you how to do it in how to make a script in 14 pages. It's just like baking cookies. If you know the recipe and the technique for baking 5 cookies, you can make 500 cookies using the same recipe. Just scale everything up. Okay, just multiply everything by 100. So if you needed 1 gallon of milk for the 5 cookies, you'll need 100 gallons of milk for the 500 cookies. Okay, now that's kind of an oversimplification, but not really when you think about it, because once you finish, if you hit all the beats in this short film, you do everything you're supposed to do as far as structure and the paradigm in this short film, in this short script, 14-page script, you do the exact same thing, but just over a larger number of pages in your 110-page script. Okay. Oh, by the way, let me go back to that. This is another great script. This is actually the very first screenwriting book I started off with in the 90s. Sid Field. This is called The Screenwriter's Workbook, and that's a really great one as well. Same guy that wrote Screenplay, the previous book we looked at. Once again, this guy, Sid Field, he's like the George Washington. I think I can think of it. He's like the George Washington or Martin Luther King of screenwriting. Blake Snyder, he's like the Barack Obama of screenwriting. Okay, so as you can see, Sid Field has been around longer. Both of them have passed away, but Sid Field, there were screenwriting instructors before him and books before him, but his was like most modern screenwriters. This is the man. Okay, Sid Field and also Blake Snyder. There are other screenwriting books as well that I subscribe to. Another one is called Story by Robert McKee. This is also a good one. One thing that you'll notice is that with each one of these books, they'll have a different take. They'll have a slightly different. They'll have a slightly different um, style as far as they have a slightly different approach to teaching screenwriting. Sid Field in the Screenwriter's Workbook, that's really more about structure. Okay, they don't really get into the inner world of the inner life or the development of character. Yes, you know it has to happen, but they don't go into as much detail as Story does by Robert McKee. Okay, Robert McKee doesn't go into structure as much as Sid Field. Blake Snyder, what's great about that is that you get a little bit of structure, you get a lot of character development, but it keeps you. Blake Snyder is was more of a commercial screenwriter, so he knows basically what studios are looking for. If you write your screenplay, you want it to get made into a movie, so you would pitch it to a vice president of production on a studio lot like Sony Pictures, Warner Brothers, or Tyler Perry Studios. If they agree they want to greenlight your film and they want to purchase your idea, or they want to option your script, or they want to buy your script, essentially, they pay you a certain amount of money and they make the script into a movie. That's one way it could go. Sometimes you would sell your script to a producer, and the producer would turn around and pitch your script to the studio. We'll talk more about that kind of stuff later on. But once again, Robert McKee, Story, great screenwriting book, and it's something definitely that I recommend. That's really what I would call the holy trinity of screenwriting for me: Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, Story by Robert McKee, and Sid Field's screenplay or the Screenwriter's Workbook. For me, that's like the holy trinity of screenwriting textbooks, because they all have different pieces of a puzzle that you really need in order to make a superior screenplay. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to work our way through the semester. You can see one of the best ways to understand what's going on with the screenplay is to watch a film and read its screenplay. The screenplay for Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Steven Spielberg film from 1981, is on Blackboard. Okay, now I don't have the rights to put the movie on Blackboard because that's violating copyright law to put like a movie that doesn't belong to you on the web and offer other people to watch it. But it should be on Netflix. Okay. This will probably be, maybe I may see if I can slide in one or two, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's another one. You can tell I'm a child I was born in the 70s and was raised between the 70s and the 80s and came into adulthood in the 90s. And you can tell by, just my taste in film. The films that I grew up with are a lot of the films that we're going to watch, and a lot of films that came before I came along, before I was old enough to really understand film, like Chinatown and Citizen Kane and films like that. But we may get a chance to watch a film or two over the course, or not watch like real time, like we watch it together, as much as this is your assignment. You have to make it a point to see this film on your own time. Okay. I believe Raiders of the Lost Ark is on Netflix. My internet is acting kind of crazy, so we'll see what happens with that. But what I need to know is, if you do not have access to Netflix, or you cannot find the films that we are going to be studying right along with the screenplay in this course, you need to let me know as soon as possible. Okay, so we can make some other arrangements for you to see the film. Okay, but we definitely need to see the film by a specific deadline and read the script. Okay, and you can see from the syllabus here. Okay, watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, we'll say and read screenplay. Okay, one of the ways I like to work is I like to maybe read maybe one act. That will be, in this case, like 28 to 30 pages of the screenplay, and then watch that same act to see how they interpreted that screenplay into the film. Some stuff you'll see was interpreted in a very different way from what you imagined from the script. Some scenes may not even be in the film that's in the script. There may be some scenes in the film that are not in the script. Okay, so that kind of stuff is important to know, and ask yourself why, or why did the the director choose to include or choose not to include certain scenes from the screenplay. All right. So, Raise the Lost Ark is going to be like our model. Raise the Lost Ark, of course, is a feature film. Once again, we're not writing a feature film, but it is useful to dissect this film and its screenplay so we can understand how films and their screenplays work. That will help you immensely when it comes to writing your short scripts. Okay, so as we look through the course schedule here, this reminds you Saturday, August 29th, 11 a.m. You need to have your no-show assignment and your ethics quiz in. You have your first quiz on September the 4th. Quiz number 1 you have due on September the 4th. That is on Razor Lost Ark. By the way, I'm going to have either a video or we're going to have a live collaborate session where we're going to talk about what's going on in the script for Razor the Lost Ark and what's going on in the film and how the two relate. We're either going to have a collaborate session if we can all agree on a time to meet, and or we're going to have, it's going to be a video, kind of like this one, where I'm not going to show the video on my screen. I may show certain clips maybe, but the idea is that we're going to basically talk through the major points as it relates to screenplay. And the quiz is going to be on that. So read the book, read the screenplay, and read these readings, the PDF on what is a screenplay, and watch my videos on screenplay structure and the paradigm. There are actually, I think, 3 parts of it. Okay, September the 4th. All right, in week 4, September the 4th takes you to week 3. When we get to week 4, we start working our way through the Save the Cat textbook. Okay, quiz 2 will be on September the 18th, Friday, the 18th of September by 11:59 p.m. That's going to be on chapter 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, chapter 1. And as we go from week to week, we're going to continue to, do readings. Please make sure you keep up with the readings in the textbook, and please make sure you keep up with the quizzes. I do not give late quizzes. I do not give re-quizzes, nothing like that. So please keep up with your reading, keep up with your quizzes. Notice your first project is due on August the 26th. Okay, your treatment, we're going to talk about that in a project assignment sheet and a video like this before it's due. So definitely that's one thing that you want to work on. Your treatment has to do with basically giving us a synopsis of what your story is going to be about. So you need to be thinking right now, hey, what do I want my short 14-page script to be about? There are not that many restrictions that I have here. No, it cannot be a documentary. There's no such thing as really a script for a documentary. There's more of a treatment or an outline for a documentary. But as far as a documentary script, it more or less comes together in post-production after you have shot it. Okay, so the script, the 14-page script you're going to be thinking about is going to be, of course, 14 pages long. It can be in any genre you want. But the one thing I'm going to recommend is this. Many of you are looking for material for your reel for when you graduate. Okay, this is a great opportunity to write a script that you can possibly shoot for your reel. So you have a script for your repertoire, of your portfolio for your writing, and you also have the corresponding short film that goes with it. Okay. Oh, by the way, it also can't be a music video. It has to be a narrative film with a beginning, middle, and end, characters with a character arc and dialogue. But the idea is that you might want to keep your screenplay in the more of the lower to moderate budget area. Basically, what you want to basically do is write a screenplay that you can actually afford to shoot. And I know at this point, you may not know exactly what it takes to shoot a film. That's okay. As you write your film, as you write your script, these are things that we'll talk about in the course as far as, okay, I don't think you want that kung fu helicopter fight scene in your film because it's probably a little above your budget as a student, and it's probably not something that you can pull off in a short period of time. So we'll talk more about that later. But as you can see, we work through the book, we do the quizzes. We have a midterm exam in week eight. Okay, week eight on the first four chapters in the book, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the what is a screenplay article. Everything we've done all the way up until October the 10th or so. Okay, that's what the midterm will be on. Okay, and then that will come back after week eight, and we'll continue in the book, going all the way to chapter eight. Okay, that will, when we take our quizzes and we do our projects, we as you can see, we have another project two. The first draft of your script is due on the 17th of October. Now, between the first draft and the second draft, the first draft was what, August 28th or so. Is that right? August 28th or so was your first draft. I'm sorry, was your first assignment, your treatment, and first draft on October 17th. We're going to do a lot of talking. So it's not like, you're kind of on your own. We're going to do a lot of talking. We're going to do a lot of work together as a class. It's not just going to be me talking to you. It's going to be y'all talking to you. So please make sure you know that. Please come prepared to participate, helping out your fellow person, giving them insight. Okay, there's nothing more valuable than that, and a large portion of your grade is based on how much you participate. Okay, with giving insight to your fellow person. You can see the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last month or so of the chapter is entirely devoted to you workshopping your screenplay, tightening it up, going through successive drafts. That means you never, ever, 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 ever write one draft. It means one version and then bam, it's it. No, there's an old saying that says writing is rewriting. Okay, so that means that your first draft invariably will be not the best. That's just how it works. I don't care who you are, how good you are. Your first draft will just be getting your ideas out of your head onto paper. You don't want it to necessarily be perfect as far as all of the dialogue and everything is perfect, but you do want to get your ideas and your structure on the page. And each time you rewrite your script, it's a draft. Get used to that because you'll rewrite. Fortunately for you, you only have to rewrite a 14-page script. Imagine if you were rewriting a 120-page script. Okay, you went through 4, 5, 7 drafts or more, which is very common in the industry. Okay, as you can see, we have a final exam. And you can see also project 3, your final draft is due on Saturday, November the 28th. Okay, we have the proctored event on Friday, December the 4th at 3 p.m. Okay, and your written final exam will be on Saturday, the 5th of December. It'll be due on Saturday, the 5th of December by 11:59 p.m. Okay, so that's basically everything that we have in a nutshell. There's a lot more detail we're going to go into with your project assignment sheets for each one of those projects, telling you what you're going to do. There's a lot more that's going to happen, but I'm really excited about this course. I'm going to wrap this up, by the way, right now, but I'm really excited about this course, and I do want to let you guys know that this is going to be it's going to be a lot of hard work, but if you really want to be a filmmaker, this is where it all boils down to. And just to kind of give you a little motivational and some real talk here, content is king. That means the only people who really are in charge of anything on a film production are the people who create content. Okay, great examples are Kenya Barris with Black AF and Blackish and Mixedish and Grownish, Lena Waithe with The Shy. Let's see, there are so many great examples. Let's see, another example. John Ridley, okay, he wrote, this is an example of a feature film. He wrote Precious, and he also wrote a series. He was also a showrunner and a head writer on a series called, I believe it was American Crime, an excellent script, excellent television series on ABC a couple years back. Steve Duncan, okay, you guys might not know him, but if you're familiar with the series Spencer for Hire, the original, Man Called Hawk, or not China Beach, but Tour of Duty. He actually was a writer on Spencer for Hire, and on the other films, he was a showrunner and the head writer on. And actually, he was my advisor and mentor in film school. And also, he has a screenplay script book called, or really a script workbook called "Do the Right Thing," WRITE, and I'll be sharing material from that with you as well. So content is king. You are just a employee. You're just a worker bee. I don't care if you're an editor, if you're a director, if you're a cinematographer, or if you're an actor. You're all following the vision, the original vision of that screenwriter. You're interpreting the vision of that screenwriter. Okay. So know that the main movers and shakers who are making the decisions, making the big bucks, who are making their creative vision known, who are their writers. People pay lots of money to get good content. They don't pay a lot of money for a cinematographer, relatively speaking, or a director or an actor. Where the money is in the industry and the control long term is in content. Okay, just like with the music industry, writing your own material and controlling your own material. Okay, that's where that's the golden the golden chalice. That's a brass ring that everybody's after. So this class is extremely important because of the fact that this class is where you get a chance to leverage some power, leverage some to display some agency. That means make choices and decisions as far as your career. So that's it. That's all I have. So for this particular video, please make sure that you read the syllabus, complete your no-show assignment and your ethics quiz. Make sure you read the What is a Screenplay PDF, and that's going to be in the course content section of Blackboard for the course. And let's go to Blackboard very quickly. And my internet is kind of slowed down here, but it's going to be in the, I'll put it in the course content section of Blackboard. Okay, that first reading assignment, what is a screenplay? Okay, and these videos, you will see these videos pop up on Blackboard as well in the course content section. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me at thomasj@gptc.edu, and I will see you guys later. Go ahead, and also, if you want to start, if you want to watch the Raiders of the Lost Ark script, watch the Raiders of the Lost Ark film rather, and read the script. You can look it up on Netflix, and I will upload the script. Actually, it's already there on Blackboard for you as well, so you can start to read that. You can find the script for Raiders of the Lost Ark in the course content section. Thank you, and have a great day.